Today we are going to be discussing language objectives and how to align them with your lesson objective. Language objectives are important because you need to meet your ELL's needs to have success. Language objectives ensure that your student comprehends the vocabulary as well as the content. Common Core can often be confusing. Here are some facts I found online on how we can help ELLs better understand it. First, you need to define the student's challenges as well as their strengths. You need to be able to describe different ways and materials needed that will help your student. And finally, develop methods of assessing if your student understands the content. The first step to creating your language objective is to identify your students' levels on the Access test. I was unable to obtain a copy of my students' Access, however, I still wanted to provide an example of where the scores are located. The next step requires you to use the WIDA can-do descriptors. Based on last year's Access test, my students scored a 3 in speaking, 3.9 in reading, 1.9 in writing, and 2.9 in listening. I highlighted the boxes that are my student's current levels and what he is capable of. To move your student forward, you need to look at the next level up. Here's an example. The student for my lesson modification is a first grade Hispanic boy. He scored a 1.9 in writing. My goal is to move him up to a level 2. At the level 2 in writing, student will make lists, produce drawings, short sentences, notes, and give information requested from oral and written directions. Now you know where you need to go with your modifications. The next step to relating your language objective to your lesson objective is by deconstructing the vocabulary and Common Core. Since my lesson modification is based on sequencing, you can use the terms in order, first, next, then, and finally. You can build background knowledge by connecting the vocabulary to the student's experiences. My lesson objective is that students will be able to sequence how to make a pizza. Based on the boxes I highlighted earlier in the can-do descriptors, I created my language objectives. I created 2 objectives. The speaking objective is student will be able to describe the steps in order to make a pizza. My writing objective states that using a graphic organizer, student will sequence the picture cards. Students will be able to write short, complete sentences using keywords. These keywords are first, next, then, and finally.